My name is Camitan, and this is my submission for uh, course CS201, and this is my submission for laboratory exercise 002. Okay, for the first task, I was given an instruction to divide amount into multiple denominations. So from here, so as you can see from the start, I declare the several variables like user value from the user input, remaining value which I use to store temporary value of user input, counter. I will use this as a counter for countdown of denominations if I want to loop through. Then the divisor, in which I will assign later the denomination value. Temp is the temporary variable. Then denomination, as you can see, is an array. And result, this will be my uh, output variable. Then from here, on the next step, I get the input from the user value. Then the user value I assign to remaining value. Then after that, I assign a different denomination from denomination array. So you can see from 1, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, and 200. Then for counter, I get count the denomination number of arrays. So this is around 6. So now in here, make a while loop. While counter is greater than or equal to 0, then I do the following. So if yes, um, my counter, I deduct decremented 1. Then next step is my temporary value. So I assign my uh, my divisor. Uh, I assign the value from denomination and also the counter as an index. Then is remaining value is greater than or equal to divisor. If yes, then I will assign remaining value divided by divisor to the temp variable. Then after that, I assign the remaining value subtracted the temporary value to remaining amount. This is to know the how much is the remaining value based on the denomination in which I assign in the divisor. Then after that, um, the result. So my output result is result uh, concat temporary variable, then concat x, meaning for example my temporary value is 100 or 1 based on the output. So I just concat with x, concat with the divisor, which is the denomination this time, and concat with s. Then after that, I loop back to the uh, while loop. Then in case that remaining value is less than the divisor, so I loop through again back to the uh, my while loop. Then in case that I already loop through all the denominations, then I will display the output of the result. Then my program will end. Okay. Then for my pseudocode, so my pseudocode is same as the flow. So I declare certain variables. Then I have an input of the user value. Then set, I assign the user input to the remaining value. Then after that, I set the value of the denomination on different denominations. Then after that, uh, I set the counter based on the count of denomination array values. Then after that, I do a while loop while the counter is greater than or equals to 0. Then I do the following, which is I set the counter, so I deduct 1 every time that it loops. Then set the divisor, which is based on the denomination index, which is I use counter as the index. So it's counting down. So that's why deduct 1 is counting down from this side to this side. Okay. Then after that, um, I set the temporary value as remaining value divided by the divisor, which is the one I assign here. For example, if it's starting from 6, I mean 5, then it will start from the index of 5. Okay. Then I set the remaining value as the remaining value minus the temporary value that I deduct here. Then after that, um, I set the result. So I concat the values of result plus temp plus x plus divisor plus s. Okay. So that is the end of my if condition. Then I loop again. So after I loop, everything I done to get all those denomination values until become the amount user amount is 0, then I will output the result. Okay, so that's for my task 2. I mean task 1. Then for task 2, sorry. Okay. So here's for my task 2. So I start, then I declare the first name and last name, result, uh, length of first name and length of last name. Okay, so then after that I get the input from the first name, then get the input of the last name, then I get the length of the first name, so I call the get length method, then I assign the value of first name, then also the length of last name, and I get the length of the last name. So next is I assign the value of result based on the last name, so I get the 0 index, meaning from the first letter until the last name divided by 2. So for example, this your name is 1, I mean last name is 1, so it will get the JU because based on the index until divide half of the um, length of the last name. Same thing after I get the result, so I have the result based on this value, so then I add um, the first name, then the index of 0 with the length based on the length of name divided by 2, so same thing as did in last name. Then after that I get my result again, then I concat the result from last name, then length last name divided by 2, then the total length of the last name. Similarly, my result again will be concat with the value of my first name based on the index of length of my first name divided by 2, and also the total length of my first name. So I assign all those value in result, then I will display a result to the user, then my program will end. So this is my pseudocode for this task. So as you can see, similar, just straightforward, similar to the one in the flow. So I don't have any if condition or loop condition. So I have declare the value of first name, last name, result, length of first name and length of last name. Then I have two inputs, which is the first name and the last name. Then after that I set the value of the length of the first name, so I call the get length method and assign the value of first name. Then after that I assign also the length of last name based on the length of the last name. Then after that I set my result based on the last name with the based on the 0 means the first index um, of the word, which is the last name, then half of the length of the uh, last name. Then after that, I set the result again based on the result previously on this line. Then I concat with the first name, also starting from first letter until the half of the length of the first name. Then after that, my result again. So based on the output on the above line, so I concatenate with the last name. Then based on the index of last name divided by 2, meaning from the half, starting from half, uh, one more than one index of the half of the length until the maximum length of the last name. Same thing, my result again. So I take from the first line, previous line, then I concatenate with the first name, and I get the letters based on the index of the letters from uh, index, half index of the length of first name until at the end of the uh, index of the first name. So after that, I just display my output based on the result. Okay, so that's it for my submission in this laboratory. Um, in my conclusion, um, I learned about how to use index in this workflow, and also I learned that how to assign value to an array, and also how to loop through on a variable based on the index. And also based on the name, I found out that I can loop through on each letter, then I can display the result. So I hope you enjoy viewing my submission. Thank you.